With Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, we just had so much great beer talk with Christy. I figure we will lead with this one with the Coors Light and all that stuff. If you're sad about your carb cutting ways and it's impeding on your ability to drink beer, not Dawson or Brian, but women's...
Please, I'm listening.
Quite the contrary. Women's Health has created a list of beers that are under 4 grams of carbs. Usually, beers are 14 grams.
I was just looking at this list last night.
Really? You spent a lot of time on Women's Health?
No, I was looking for beers under 4 grams of carbs.
So you can usually tell a beer is low carb because it will say light, but you're going to want to check the label just to be sure. And I'll just rattle off the list here.
Here's, and I don't know if this is included. Yeah. Here's sort of the dance, in my guesstimation. So we were kind of talking about this in terms of tortillas the other day, which was we're off the air, but we were talking about instead of a big full-size flour tortilla, how about the little street taco corn tortilla, which is lower in carbs and all that kind of stuff. The thing about beer, it strikes me that ultimately you enjoy your beer, but ultimately when people reach for alcohol, they're looking to feel the effects of it in one way or another. And so you go wine. Well, wine has carbs in it, but you drink a lesser amount. It has a higher content of alcohol, right?
Higher concentrate.
So to me, the beers that are like, well, this is a low carb beer is good, but at 3.1% alcohol, now I'm drinking 7 of these to kind of catch a buzz.
You're back to your regular Sam Adams now.
So now it's kind of like, well, wait, maybe you get a double IPA at 11% alcohol versus the light at 2.7, whatever.
Bang for your buck.
But my feeling kind of is the low carb is good, but with the low alcohol that goes along with the low carb, now what are we doing? Because we're drinking 7 beers that are low carb, but or 2 double IPAs. That's kind of the interesting thought, Maxipad. It'd be interesting to figure out like what a Stone double IPA is and like a 12 ounce in the carb department. So what somebody needs to do is the low carb, high alcohol.
Figure out the ratio. Most alcohol for your carb.
For your buck.
Most alcohol per carb.
Well, we were just talking about Jolt. Like they just went, hey, this is for kids who want
behavioral problems.
Really want to doodle on a peachy folder fast. This is like, if you said to me, well, you want to go low on the carbs, they're like, yeah, but again,
to get buzzed.
2.7 alcohol is just not anything. So if you jacked it up, and jack the carbs down, well, now we're kind of talking.
Now we're doing
I don't know if
tequila.
there is one of those things.
I just assumed this was more about kind of
12 ounce Max Pound.
This is more about lounging by the pool at a pool party all day.
We can do the math, but
12 ounces.
It's he just gave me the 22
They
ounce.
serve it. They serve.
Yeah, I know. But do they have them in a small?
Just divide it in half.
I'll do it. All right, sorry, go ahead.
This seems to be more like, like Brian's in Hawaii and going to sit on the lounge chair all day and have 16
Give me the low
beers.
carbs, but I want to know what the alcohol content is.
I'm sure it's very,
would you indulge me if I can venture some guesses? Because I wasn't looking at this list, but I was doing this research last night, and it's not the ones you necessarily think of. Like I feel like Miller Lite has a few more carbs than you'd expect. So for sure, these are all widely available beers, I assume.
Hold on,
yes.
I just want to jump in because I'm going to have Max Pata go on this goose hunt. See if you can find out the alcohol content of the beers that are on that list as well. Sorry, go ahead.
I know it's Corona Premier is probably on there.
It is on there.
Michelob Ultra is probably on there.
It is.
Bud Select 55 is like the...
Jesus, Brian.
No, I've committed these to memory.
Well, listen, he's a motivated camper. He's committed to low carbs and he's committed to having a beer.
That's right.
I Drinks take every morning. Every morning. 6-pack in the shower.
Do not want me to take a shower. And then there's other ones on there. Like there's like a Rolling Rock. But anyway.
So I'm just gonna fly through them. You got your Natty Light, of course. Michelob Ultra, Milwaukee's Best Light, Michelob Ultra Amber, Miller Lite Corona Premier, Miller 64, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra Pure Gold.
These are all in the under what amount?
4
right.
grams.
Yeah, but again, if you drink a 6-pack of them, it adds up a little more. So I want to know what I want the alcohol to carb winner.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking for. See if you can check those
Chris,
stats,
I just
Max
texted you the
Zapata.
list.
And I don't know if Vinny would say that, well, no, you can't do one without the other or both or something. But I imagine you could, because Vinny will say, oh, drink vodka or scotch. No carbs, but you get the alcohol.
Right. Yeah.
So if the alcohol isn't attached to the carb, then why hasn't, in a world of specialties, why hasn't somebody juiced a beer? Like, why hasn't someone taken a low-carb beer and juiced it with alcohol?
Like, well, because then it'd be a malt beverage, wouldn't it?
No, I just mean, look, it might taste like shit, but what I'm saying is you don't want the carbs.
Right.
You do want the buzz. Why not get some more alcohol into the low-carb world?
Okay.
The low-carb world drops the alcohol normally. Now, someone who knows about beer is screaming while they're driving because it would taste weird or whatever.
Well, no one adds alcohol to beer. It ferments, right? So, like, I don't know how you would...
Well, they'd make double IPAs, maybe, or triple IPAs. Right. Like, I guess you couldn't... If you look at IPAs, for instance, some will be 4.9, some will be 7.0. Some, then there's doubles, it'll be like 9. Sometimes there's some crazy triple, like at 13% alcohol. I don't know how...
Yeah, I don't know about the brewing
do
process,
it, but you might not be... What I'm saying is you may, or somebody may, in a carb-obsessed world, and also in a world where we make one of everything, a million different flavors of Coke and Diet Coke and everything else, somebody may take this low-carb, light beer and physically add alcohol to it.
Some grain alcohol or something.
Yeah, imagine you get it. Imagine there's a low-carb alcohol, and instead of 3.1, it's 8.
Right.
Well,
and you drink 2 of them.
While we're letting Chris do the math, let me throw it out to you guys, because I've been literally thinking about this for 24 hours. I'm going to be in Hawaii if people hear this. What drinks would you guys recommend? Because everything out there is either fruity, you know what I mean, super sugary and fruity,
heavy rum,
or it's, it's like it's beer or whatever, at the pool, and I'm trying to avoid both.
You know what I do, especially on a hot summer day, trying to do what you're doing? I like to do a little tequila and soda water. It's refreshing. You won't get super shit-faced real quick. Put a little lime, or lemon for Adam. But yeah, tequila and soda is a very refreshing choice.
When I'm in low carb mode, but if you want to, I'll tell you. Okay, here's something. As I've explained before, but I was complaining about glasses and stuff like that. I'm a stoic, as you guys know. So, and that means I'm into temperance,
right?
And so you're on vacation,
right?
So let's not be super hardcore. We're like, I'll make my palms into a cup, and you dump grain alcohol into it, and I'll drink it like a dog.
I'll sip it slowly.
You know what I mean? And it's like if you're keeping it, if you're keeping real carb focused, I'll just get vodka and soda water and a lemon. But you're on vacation, you want to enjoy yourself.
I'm going to waddle back into the studio in a week.
I have found that if you go to a decent place and they make their own margarita mix. It's not Mrs. T's syrup, corn syrup, whatever, but they do fresh whatever and all that. They do their own.
Yep.
And you do that drink, what I said, which is you get the salt, you get the margarita, don't do the blender, you make it a smaller drink and you make it a double. So you're not consuming all the mix.
Right.
It's a little more tequila than normally is. Like, so don't get the big fish bowl that has the one shot of tequila in it and 19 ounces of corn syrup. If you want to treat and feel like you're drinking a margarita by the pool, get the double and do it like a smaller glass. You're getting the alcohol, if you can handle the taste of the alcohol, which you can. You drink in the shower. God knows you have issues surrounding alcohol. All right, Max, you can try to find those alcohol content of those low-carby beers. Stone Ruination IPA, 12-ounce, 8.2 in the alcohol department, but 27 carbs. So it's a lot of carbs. And I don't think anything exists, but I'll tell you, if you told me that Miller Lite was in the low carb department but had the highest alcohol, I'd tend to reach for the Miller Lite. Because if you want low carbs, then think less carbs. And if you want to catch a nice buzz by the pool and you could do it on 3 beers versus 4,
smart.
Why not?
Then there you go. All right. Sorry.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry. Yeah, Chris, I'm trying to get this sent to you. I don't know why it's not going through. So the Chicago White Sox will play a game against the New York Yankees next August at the site in Iowa where the movie Field of Dreams was filmed. This according to Newser and the AP.
Oh, you know how the figurines commercial and the Anjali commercial got me angry at my mom?
Yeah.
Field of Dreams made me angry at my dad.
Everywhere. Everywhere you look.
Oh, want to have a catch?
Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're going to go for it.
It's a really good movie,
Major League Baseball announced recently that the White Sox will play host to the Yankees in Dyersville, Iowa on August 13th, 2020. Going to be aired on Fox. A temporary 8,000-seat stadium will be built on the site to accommodate this first Major League game ever played in Iowa.
They'll have to make some sort of fence because it's just corn, right? Or at least it was in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie it was.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've blocked it all from my memory, my mind.
Well, and I think that place has become a major hot spot for tourists, so I'm pretty sure it's probably gated off by now.
All right. Miller Lite alcohol content. Here we go. I don't need the exact list that just light. Just look up light. They're all light. That's kind of the point. I'm just curious what the average. Coors Light, Miller Lite.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yep.
I'm gonna need a minute. I just got the list sent.
You don't need just any of the lights.
I understand.
Is fine. Okay. So, Coors Light, Natural Light, Miller Lite, they're all checking in at 4.2, which is fair to Midland. And so, if you're looking to catch a buzz and not get yourself the carbs, well, then you go. I'm doing the math. It's the Stone IPA was checking in at about 8% alcohol, but it was like 27% grams of carbs. Miller Lite, 3.2 in the carb department. So if you drank two of those,
you're back in business.
6.5 in the carbs and 8.5 in the alcohol.
Yeah.
So there you go.
You're welcome, everybody.
Good to know.
Well, this is going to be horrifying for some people and delightful and interesting for others, depending on what you're into. Taco Tuesday just isn't the same without that side of guac, but some restaurants are serving what Men's Health describes as crocamole in the midst of this avocado shortage. So basically, a 24-pound carton of mid-size avocados costs about $66 right now, and some restaurants just can't handle it. So guess what they're subbing in? You don't know.
Stepping on it.
Not even stepping on it, completely subbing.
Completely subbing.
For some people, some restaurants, according to Men's Health.
I'm trying to think of texture. Banana?
No, but
squash.
There you go. Oh, summer squash.
boo.
Okay, so here's how they're doing it.
Just seasoning it up with tons and tons of salt.
And the color and everything. Yeah. So evidently, restaurants blend the squash with olive oil, tomatillos, which are green, jalapeno, and garlic. And it's virtually, it's for some it's indistinguishable. So next time you order guac, ask if you're getting the real deal because you might not be. They're very expensive right now.
Dawson, put it down.
The Gringos Locos by my house. I don't know why. Somehow Spanish everything loves loco.
They're crazy.
Like they're crazy. I don't know.
Loco.
I don't feel like I went insane people preparing my poultry. That's me.
Gonna get salmonella.
I know I'm crazy that way. Pardon the pun.
Ironic.
But I know they love crazy everything. But this place has the guac cart.
Oh, and good. You gotta see it.
Nice. You can't fake the guac cart. The guy just pulls up,
with the
does it
pestle and
right
mortar.
in front of you. And look, if you're a Mexican food place and you don't have a guac cart, get a guac cart.
Yeah.
Because that is so goddamn satisfying.
It's a show.
Also, I'm always a little weird when it's a little too light in color and a little too creamy when it comes from the back.
You know why?
I'm like, what are
the
you
most
doing with this?
disgusting condiment is added a lot of times.
Mayonnaise?
No. Not even sour cream. Mayonnaise.
That's dignity. Doesn't have sour cream.
Oh, God, so gross.
Max Pata, see if you can find the highest alcohol light beer. Now, for a guy who was making fun of people for drinking in the shower and being alcoholics, I think
really hammering this.
I think the worm has turned. But the highest alcohol, lowest carb beer we can find. That should be the new weapon of choice. Go ahead.
Meanwhile,
have the guac cart. By the way, it's no big deal. People love it, and they spend. If you just said to me on an average Mexican thing, like, would you like an order of guacamole? I might go, maybe not. But when the guac
would you
cart
like
guy,
table-side guacamole?
I'm in.
I didn't show this to you guys, but a crime was committed against me recently at a really nice restaurant in L.A. I got the guacamole and plantains because that was kind of the only choice that I had. And look how they decimated this guacamole with pomegranate seeds and pumpkin seeds
why would you do that?
all up in it. It was the worst.
All right. Here's my simple request. If restaurant, whoever's listening, if you are hell-bent on fucking up things like guacamole, things that
are not broken.
They're not broken, and it's impossible to fuck up. But if you are hell-bent on doing that, or you want to do a version of my huevos rancheros that is a breakfast burrito, and then you announce this is how we do it, you must give us the opportunity to either cancel the order or modify the order.
Hold the pomegranate seeds.
You must. If you are going to put something that's never been put on guacamole before and nobody would like, I don't know that people enjoy pumpkin seeds sitting around and eating. I don't know that they enjoy pomegranate seeds sitting around and eating. But if you're going to take two seeds that are very low on the seed chart for human beings and desecrate this guacamole with them, you must say something and give the consumer an opportunity to go, no, thank you. Please just bring it out, minus the shit you're going to sprinkle on.
It was a bum out.
And good for you. You'll have more material to disappoint more customers with.
It's all be saving money. You know what this is like? This when I coached football for a short period of time, before the game, the referees would come up and talk to the coaches like, hey, you guys got any trick plays you're thinking about running? Just so we know. And we're like, you're taking us by surprise, or we're going to call a foul or something when you're running your trick plays. Like, yes, we do, actually, and here's how it goes. He's obviously not going to tell the other team, but you've got to declare that. Otherwise, they're going to be...
If you're going to have a guy
evidence
in the 70s, the number in the 70s, check in as a tight end or something like that, or tackle eligible, you need to tell... You need to tell them, this guy, don't throw the flag, we're doing the play, but you're going to see a lineup that you're not used to seeing.
It's going to involve pomegranates.
I'm not going to run across and tell the other team.
Natty Ice, 4 grams of carbs and 5.9. That's healthy.
That's why frat boys love it. That's the Natty Ice. That's the drink of choice.
That's pretty high. But is there, Max Zapata, this thing I've invented, this juiced high one with the low thing that does not exist as far as we know?
So Natty Ice is what, 4... Just give me the stats again. 4 to 5.9. I found actually kind of a crafty beer that if people want to find 2 grams of carbs, 4.7 alcohol.
Whoa.
It's almost 2.5 to 1. North Coast Brewing Scrimshaw Pilsner.
Okay.
Yeah. It's 2 grams of carbs. Almost 5.
Forward that to, I got a road trip. Forward that to Fond du Lac.
Wow.
Order a case of that.
That's a good beer, too. I've had it.
Oh, you've had it?
I mean, it's a semi-popular beer, like, those kinds of bars. Yeah. It's not impossible to find. Bevmo will probably have it.
Okay. Try that. Go ahead.
So a Greyhound bus abandoned his bus during a pit stop and left people just stranded for hours.
You said pit stop. Do you mean it's going to pit stop?
Yeah.
Bus stop?
But no, you're on the road
stops.
from one city to the other, and then you're going to make a pit stop at a 7-Eleven or something, so you can get go to the bathroom.
About racing too much.
Roughly 3 hours into a trip from Dallas to Phoenix, this bus pulled over for what was supposed to be a scheduled 20-minute pit stop in Abilene, Texas. 20 minutes went by. 2 hours went by. People were getting very suspicious. They began to call Greyhound. In the end, the group was stranded for 9 hours before the company was able to send over a replacement driver. One passenger said, "Hey, Greyhound did a nice thing. They bought everyone lunch waiting for the bus, but nobody's been refunded. Everyone got a gas station sandwich."
Here's a banana with a short stem. Why do they do that?
You're on a great bus stop. Bus drivers must be mostly sketchy folks, and I'm assuming. And I don't know. As far as if I'm Greyhound, I'd be like, where was it going from where to where?
Dallas to Phoenix.
I'd be like, And how long's it?
Oh, they didn't say.
Do it? No, max battle figure out. It's Dallas to Phoenix. I think that's 10 hours in the bus or something.
I was going to say 12, but no.
My first thing would be like, they'd be like, this is outrageous. We've been waiting here for 3 hours. I'd be like, let's discuss that. Are you in a hurry? Are you in a hurry?
You did travel Greyhound.
Who amongst us now
got a heart out?
You guys paid $112. Southwest run a special right now for $69.
That's
get
either
you
here or
there in 51 minutes. So let's really focus on this notion of I'm in a hurry. You're on a bus, and you're not a prisoner.
You said your time is valuable, but I'm looking at you.
The thing about bus tickets is they are like the same price as a Southwest
they are.
ticket.
How do you call Greyhound and demand a refund? Like, my time is valuable. You can't say this straight face.
So, Maxipad, if you can find the bus, just a car ride. Although, when you do a car ride from Dallas to Phoenix, add another 2 hours or 3 hours on because the bus averages a lot slower.
On Google, you can pick between car, walk, or transit. So just pick the transit option.
If we do that, Gene, it's 22 hours.
Yeah, that's like change.
Oh, okay. I used to go back and forth from New York to D.C. a lot when I lived in New York, and it was like the Peter Pan, or Greyhound or one of those. And you got on there, and you felt like a criminal. There were always two bouncers that would yell a speech at you about being rowdy on the bus and being left on the side of the road, and people just shut up and sat there, and we weren't allowed to speak. You weren't allowed to get up. You certainly don't get up and talk to the bus driver. They were mean.
So it's over 20 hours? Or is
No, that's if you do like trains and shit.
Oh, I see.
Well, I'm on the Greyhound website, and it says a trip nonstop Dallas to Phoenix is 21 hours, 50 minutes.
Damn.
20 minutes.
22 hours.
What's an extra 9
how much
hours?
is it? You can find out what a ticket costs?
Yeah, economy's $187.
That's a lot.
$187.
But go on the Southwest website and do a flight right now from Dallas to Phoenix.
I am telling you, I've been saying this for a long time. It's more expensive to take a bus to San Francisco from L.A. or to Dallas from Phoenix or whatever than it is to fly from Burbank on Southwest. It is strictly for people that are scared of flying.
Or have something to hide.
Yeah.
Or can't travel through that security level.
Don't want the license scanned.
Because the $187, Southwest can be all over the place, but you can certainly find a Southwest flight that's under $187.
Oh, so it looks like there actually are They do stop in different parts for like 30 minutes at a time, 30 minutes at a time.
I also bet they changed drivers at least once because you can't have a driver go for 21 hours.
You just have to have
legally
reasons to be on that bus other than, hey man, I take the bus to save a few ducats,
See the country.
How much is a Southwest flight and how long is that Southwest flight? And I'll tell you guys, I'll let you find that, Max Pata. First, I want to remind people to take the Podcast One survey, podcast1.study, and the first 125 people are going to get themselves a $20 gift certificate to restaurants.com. So use that, get some real guac, and one of you is getting a $100 Amazon gift card. So just go to podcast1.study and answer a few quick questions. All right, anything, Max Pana?
Yeah, economy for a flight is $150, and it's 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Okay.
For 10% of the time.
It's
a tenth of the time.
It's insane. All right, Gina, why don't we bring it home?
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.